Okay, next one. A bond that is correct. A bond that is characterized by a fixed periodic payment schedule that reduces the bond's outstanding principal amount to zero by the maturity date is best described as A. Bullet bond, B. Plain vanilla bond, C. Fully amortized bond. Okay, so to answer the question correctly, we need to understand about the concept of this question and also answers as well. First of all, we need to understand what is bullet bond. So what is bullet bond? Bullet bond is bullet bond. Okay, bullet bond. So bullet bond is mean that the investor is only pay for the interest only, and the principal will be paid at the end, will be paid at the maturity. Okay, remember bullet. So that means, okay, all the principal will come to the end, all the principal will come to the maturity. So that means, just remember that bullet bond, the investor only pay for the interest during lifetimes of the bond, and the principal will be paid at the maturity time. And remember, principal pay full at maturity will call balloon payment. Okay, so now we talk about a plain vanilla bond. Plain vanilla bond is kind of a very simple one. I think this one will be like, we'll pay some interest and also we'll pay interest and also pay some principal to the investor. So we call this one a plain vanilla bond. Is very. And the next one, we have fully amortized bond. Fully amortized bond. So it's very difficult to pronounce this one. Fully amortized bond. Fully amortized bond is mean like we'll pay the issuer will pay a equal periodic PMT payment. And like, for example, if a bond for 10 years, so with 10 with million is a million bond. So each year the issuer will pay like 100 per year, and include, and 100 payment is include interest and PMT and payment principal is fully amortized. And we also have partial amortized. Partial amortized mean also have equal periodic PMT with also interest plus some principal, but balloon PMT at maturity, but balloon PMT will be paid at maturity. Of course, balloon will above zero, but lower than principal. Okay, so for fully amortizing, balloon PMT will pay at maturity equal with zero, because we already fully amortizing the principal. Okay, So for this one, to answer the question we all understand about the fixed periodic payment schedule that reduce the bond outstanding principal amount to zero at maturity, that is fully amortizing. Okay, so C. The next one, investors who believe the interest rates will rise most likely prefer to invest in A. Invest floaters, B. Fixed rate bonds, C. Floating rate notes. Of course, floating rate notes, we don't need to talk about this one because we talked about this a lot before. Okay. The next question, question 15, the provision that provides bondholders the right to sell the bond back to the issuer at a predetermined price prior to the bond's maturity date is referred to A put provision, B a make whole call provision, C an original issue discount provision. Of course, A put provision, because a put provision will allow the bondholder to sell the bond back to the issuer at a predetermined date. Okay, so this one is very easy. I think we talked a lot about this one before. The next question, oh my god. The next question we talk about, which of the following provisions is a benefit to the issuer? A put provision, B call provision, and C conversion provision. Of course, it's call provision. Because call provision will allow the issuer to buy the bond back. Okay, it will provide benefit to the issuer. Okay, the next one, relative to an otherwise similar option free bond A, puttable bond will trade at a higher price. Callable bond will trade at a higher price, and convertible bond will trade at a lower price. Okay, we need to explain from one by one. A puttable bond will trade at a higher price. So puttable bond will benefit to the bondholder. So benefit to the bondholder, of course, the price will be higher. Correct, A. And let's explain the reason why B and C are wrong. B, callable bond will trade at a high price. Callable bond, we know that callable bond will benefit to the issuer. So benefit to the issuer, that means the bond's price will be low. Okay, the next one is a convertible bond will trade at a low price. We know that convertible bond will benefit to the bondholder. So if benefit to the bondholder will make the price of the bond will increase higher. Okay, the next one, the question 18, which type of bond most likely earns interest on an implied basis. A floater. B. Conventional bond. C. Pure discount bond. I think for this one, let me check the question again. I think for 18, let me check it on. 18. Pure discount bond. Pure discount bond. Pure discount bond. Yeah, pure discount bond. Why we choose pure discount bond? Because the question is which type of bond most likely earns interest on an implied basis. Of course, pure discount bond. Okay, the next one. Clauses that specify the rights of the bondholders and any actions that the issuer is obligated to perform or is prohibited from performing are covenants. This one is very easy. Don't need to explain anymore. Okay, the next one. Which of the following best describes a negative bond covenants? The requirement to A. Issue, insure, and maintain assets. B. Comply with all laws and regulations. C. Maintain a minimum interest coverage ratio. Describes a negative bond covenant. Must not do. So here C. Must not just maintain a minimum interest coverage ratio. We know that coverage ratio will be calculated by the EBITDA divided to interest expense. If we get a minimum interest coverage, that means EBITDA is very low, nominator very low. So when we divide a low EBITDA to interest expense, we'll get a very low interest coverage. So that means like negative covenant will be prohibited. Company maintain a minimum interest coverage ratio. We just remember that coverage ratio will be calculated by EBITDA divided to interest expense. Okay. C. Okay, we can question number 25, because some questions above 25 we need to calculate. We need to use a calculator. This is a Texas Instrument TI calculator. It's not the same with the normal calculator. I think like for people who study about finance, who study about CFA, they will know about this kind of calculator. Okay, so the question 25, the benefit to issuer of a deferred coupon bond is most likely related to a tax management, cash flow management, and original issue discount price. So for deferred coupon bond, I already talked about this one in my previous video when we studied the share books. But now I just talk it again a little bit. Like deferred coupon bond will give the bondholder the benefit of tax management Okay, because for the beginning of some years they don't have to pay for tax or whatever. Okay. Question 26. Which of the following bond types provides the most benefit to a bondholder when bond prices are declining? A. Callable. B. Plain vanilla. C. Multiple put. Just remember about the question. Benefit to the bondholder. Benefit to the bondholder. Callable benefit for the bondholder? No. Callable benefit to the issuer. Issuer can call the bond back whenever they have one on the contract on a callable date. Okay. B. Plain vanilla is just normal one. Free option bond. No. A free option bond if even the price of the bond decrease sharply, but you have no right to sell the bond back. C. Multiple put. Multiple put. You can sell back the bond to the issuer. That's when the bond price is decreasing. Okay, the next one. Question 27. Okay, this one I love this question because I didn't study much about this kind of topic before because I forgot about this kind of knowledge. So question number 7. Which type of coal bond option offers the greatest flexibility as to when the issuer can exercise the option? Which type of a callable bond option offers the greatest flexibility as to when the issuer can exercise the option? When the issuer. I think which time we have A. Bermuda coal, B. European coal, and C. An American coal. So a Bermuda coal, okay, a Bermuda coal and European coal and American coal. We talk about, for example, the American coal. So American coal is allowed. American coal that give the issuer the right to call the bond back at any time starting on the first call date. And okay, that is the American coal. So European coal does not allow the issuer to call the bond back until the maturity. And Bermuda coal is allow the issuer to call the bond back at a predetermined date. So that means this one is greatest flexibility to the issuer can exercise the option is American coal. Okay, question 28. I think we'll talk about it again. It's finished. Reading 42 in curriculum. Question. Reading 43. Okay, reading 43 have a lot of questions. Reading 43, so the first question is, in most countries, the bond market sector with the smallest amount of bonds outstanding is most likely the A. Government sector, B. Financial or corporate sector, C. Non-financial corporate sector. Of course, smallest amounts of bonds outstanding in non-financial corporate section. Because for non-financial corporate section, like the standard to issue a bond is not very high, so the amount of the bond on the market is not a lot. Okay, the next one, the distinction between investment grade debt and non-investment grade debt is best described by differences in A, tax status, B, credit quality, C, maturity days. So for this one, we talk about best investment grade debt and non-investment grade debt. Different is, I think it's probably about credit quality. Okay, yes, so the credit quality, so this one we don't need to explain about this one, I think, because everyone when they read about this question, they will decide about the credit quality, will grade the bonds. C, a bond issued internationally outside the country in whose currency bond is denominated is best described as Eurobond, foreign bond, municipal bond. Issued international outside the country, I think it would be Eurobond. Okay, the next question number 4. When classified a type of issuer, asset-backed securities are a part of a corporate sector, B, structured finance sector, C, government and government-related sector. Of course, it's a structured finance sector, because we talked a lot in my previous video. This one be some kind of question. Okay, now we jump up to the question number 10. In major developed bond markets, newly issued sovereign bonds are most often sold to the public via A, auction, B, private placement, C, best efforts offering. Newly issued sovereign bonds, developed bond market, newly issued sovereign bond, so often sold to the public via auction. I think auction is often like for a government bond. Private placement, just not all people can buy this one. Just some qualified organization can buy this kind of bond. And best effort offering, just like I will try my best to sell the bond for you to get a commission back. So for this one, auction, I think it's auction. Okay, the question 11, which of the following describes private placement bond? A, they are non-underwritten and under-registered. they usually have active secondary markets. They are less customized than public offered bond. So for this one, we just directly eliminate the question and the answer. B, they usually have active secondary markets. No. For private placement bond, no secondary market. They are non-underwritten and under-registered. Of course, they are non. So for this one, just a half of correction and a half is not, is uncorrection. Okay. private placement. Okay. And less customized. And C, they are less customized than public offered. Of course, less customized. And so the only answer here, they are non-underwritten and under registration. So to explain a little bit more about this question, why we choose the answer A, because private placements are typically non-underwritten, under registration, under register bond offering that are sold only to a single investor or a small group of investor. It's kind of some qualified investor will be able to buy these kind of bonds. Okay. The next question. A mechanism by which an issuer may be able to offer additional bonds to the general public without preparing a new separate offering circular best describes. A, the gray market. B, a shell registration. C, private placement. Do we know about gray market? Great markets mean that when we do not know how to decide the price of the product, we can quote randomly to people like, I have this kind of products, these have this kind of benefit, and we will sell you with this price. Do you want to have it? Are you interested in this or not? So we just kind of survey the interest of people to get the so we call this one a gray market. Okay. A shelf registration mean like you want to issue 1,000 bonds, so you just registered to issue 1,000 bonds, but in the first year you only issue 100 bond. 2 years later you will issue 500 bonds like this, but we do not need to register again because we already registered at the first time. So for this one, of course, shelf registration. We just talk about private placement. It's not this one. So the question 12 will be B. The answer will be B. Okay. Okay, we jump to the question 15. A liquid secondary bond market allows an investor to sell a bond at a desired price. This one we don't need to take all the answers. Okay, question number 7. Sovereign bonds are best described as A, bonds issued by local governments, secured obligations of the national government, bonds backed by taxing authority of a national government. a sovereign bond is a bond issued by national government. So if a bond issued by local government, we call that one is what do we, I forgot, let me check it out. What? Yeah, we call non-sovereign bond. And a bond backed by the taxing authority of a national government, we call that one quasi, or we call that an agency. We call it agency. Yes, we could agency bond or quasi bond. Okay. The next one, because like quasi bond, like some organization that is backed by national government, like Fannie Mae in the Big Short. You will know about that. Quasi or agency bond. Okay, next question we agency bonds are issued by quasi government entities. Okay. Question 21. The type of bond issued by a multi-agency such as the International Monetary Fund (IMF) is best described as sovereign bond, supranational bond, quasi-government bond. B, supranational bond. So supranational bond will be the bond that is a bond that is issued by organization that operates globally, like IMF, World Bank, and a lot of organization. Okay, so the question 26. When issuing debt, a company may use a sinking fund arrangement as a means of reducing credit risk, inflation risk, interest rate risk. Sinking fund. We know sinking fund. We understand about sinking fund. To reduce credit risk, not inflation risk. We talk about this one. Is about credit. Yeah. We know that advantage of sinking fund is reduce credit risk. Okay, there's still some questions, but I feel a little bit I'm a little bit sleepy now, so I think I will finish this reading 43 here, and I will do it later maybe, or jump to the reading 44. And okay.